Good morning. I'm Bill Ristenpart, Director of the UC Davis Coffee Center, and I'm really excited to share with you today an update on the progress for the construction for the UC Davis Coffee Center. And as you can see, we're in the middle of construction, and the point of this video is to give you a little update on where we're at and where we're going. So starting outside, I'm standing here in front of the Curtis patio. And so for those of you who saw it before, this was an ugly gravel parking lot, and now it's the beginning of a beautiful outdoor event space. They haven't put the trellis in yet, but you can see that they've put in the all glass garage doors for the 4 high bay laboratories, and they're currently putting in the driveway and putting in the landscaping. This fence that you see right here, this is a vine fence, that's what the architects call it, and that's going to be covered with vegetation to kind of block the view behind the coffee center. I'm standing in front of the Bridge Coffee Bridge, which connects the Arboretum to our new beautiful grand entrance to the coffee center. For those who remember, this was just a window. Now it's the grand entrance to the new lobby for the coffee center. So now we're standing in the lobby. You can see that they've already started putting in casework. The walls have been painted. They're mostly done with electrical and plumbing and things like that. On my left is going to be the Scott Yang espresso bar. So right over here, there's going to be a sink and an espresso bar to greet people, students, visiting scholars as you come into the coffee center lobby. On the right will be our donor appreciation wall. We're gonna have a mural thanking all of our very generous donors who supported the coffee center and made all this possible. This is the Joe Silma meeting room. This was the front lobby before. Now it's going to be a small conference room, and it's going to have a beautiful view of the Arboretum. And so this room used to be the coffee room for this building, but now it's the director's office. On the other side of the lobby is the door to the Wasson classroom. So this used to be 3 individual offices. We knocked down all those walls, and now there's going to be room for about 24 students. There's going to be a whiteboard here. Over on that wall is going to be a Zoom webinar station so that we can have video conferences and webinars and things like that here in the Wasson classroom. This very long corridor here is the Cropster corridor, which connects all the high bay laboratories and all the activities in the coffee center. So let's go check out all their labs. So now we're standing in the sensory and cupping laboratory. In this room, there's going to be some cupping tables. The casework over there is going to hold the stove and the refrigerator. Over here we have our pass-through, so that in the La Marzocco Brewing Espresso Laboratory, we can brew coffee, pull shots, and then slide it through into this room for double-blind testing under carefully controlled conditions. And one of the central features of this lab is the sensory description isolation booths, of which we have 5. And so over here we have the pass-throughs. They'll have little doors here, and we're going to be able to slide products through and have participants taste them under carefully controlled conditions, so we can get statistically rigorous information about how different processing parameters affect the quality of the coffee. Okay, and so now we're in the La Marzocco Brewing and Espresso Laboratory. And so around the periphery, they're putting in the casework right now, but this will be where all the grinders are. There's a sink. Over on this wall, you can see that they have a whole bunch of different electrical outlets. That's where the commercial drip coffee brewers are going to be. And then the central feature here in the middle of the room, there's this half wall. This is where the espresso machines are going to be. So we're going to have 4 different espresso islands so that we can train multiple students at the same time and do experiments with brewing espresso at the same time. Now I'm standing in the Peet's Coffee Pilot Roastery. For whatever reason, there's no construction equipment here, so you can see how nice and big it is. We're over here on this wall, you can see the ventilation for 3 5-kilogram roasters, which will be generously donated by Probot. Over on this wall, we're going to have 3 1-kilogram roasters. And then we'll have a packing line right here and storage space over there. One thing I'd love to point out is how much more light there is now because of the all-glass garage doors. Now it's going to have a view out onto a beautiful event space and garden outside of the coffee center. This motorized door right here, that connects us to the final room, so let's go through. And so this is the Nicaraguan Coffee's experimental green bean storage laboratory. And so this room is where all the green beans will be delivered and then stored in different environmental chambers where we can precisely modulate temperature and humidity profiles for the green beans and see how those affect the chemical and biological degradation mechanisms that affect the quality of coffee. And so over on this wall will be all the storage shelves. And then outside, they're building a driveway for delivery trucks and whatnot to be able to deliver pallets of green coffee right here. This is the Folgers Chemical Analytical Laboratory. So you can see in the back we have a fume hood installed. We have some chemical grade lab benches where we're going to have some HPLC and mass spec for doing chemical analysis of the different components in the coffee that we brew. And on this side, we're going to have some general lab space and tool space. This is the Toddy Innovation Space. This is where we'll be doing a lot of cold brew research and also just have flexible space where if we have new equipment, new experiments we want to do, we can do it in this innovation space right here. And so there's going to be refrigerators and an ice maker over on this wall. And then we just have general flexible space all around the rest of the room. Here we have the Pam Fair alcove. This is an informal interaction space. We're going to have some comfortable furniture here, probably a whiteboard over here on this wall. And then behind me is the B-More office space for grad students. Here we have a little bit of space with a nice window, and so they're going to put in some casework here, so we have laptop stations for our grad students working on coffee and for visiting scholars and things like that. One thing I'd like to finish with is to really acknowledge that none of this would be happening without the generous philanthropic support of all the donors who've helped make it happen. And so if you're one of those donors, thank you so much for making this happen. And if you're thinking about contributing, now is the time. There are a lot of naming opportunities still available. The lobby, the sensory lab, a sensory booth, the director's office, and many other spaces outside. It really takes the whole coffee community and our alumni community to come together to help make a new academic program flourish here at UC Davis, and not just for UC Davis, but for the coffee community around the world. So thank you so much.